What is up, people? Van from the Vaniverse gaming channel here with a video on Conan Unconquered. In this video, I'm doing a should I buy, and I just want to go over all the information about Conan Unconquered, which just hit today, so that you guys can have an idea of if you should buy the game or not. The first part is going to be a lot of the information about the game, and then the second half is going to be the actual gameplay. So I'll put a timestamp in the description if you guys just want to watch the gameplay. And I'll also put the Steam link down there so you can purchase the game. So let's get started here. The game is a survival RTS that was developed by Petroglyph Gaming, who are famous for Red Alert, Command and Conquer games. They do nothing pretty much but RTSs. And then it was published by Funcom. So it's not developed by Funcom, it's only published by Funcom. Similar to what Mutant Year Zero was earlier this year. So they call it a survival RTS because instead of the traditional RTS where you're going out and trying to fight and conquer somebody else and take over their base and defend yours, the whole game is defending against wave after wave of creatures that's trying to destroy your base. So there's 25 waves. Each wave gets consistently stronger, and the goal is to try and make it through and be unconquered, so to speak. Now, the game comes in two different versions. You have a standard and a deluxe edition. The standard edition is $29.99. The deluxe edition is $39.99. So along with that, you get $10 is going to get you a digital soundtrack, an ebook, which you wouldn't get through the regular version, which is emailed to you, I believe. That's what they did with Conan Exiles. And then on top of that, you also unlock the King Conan skin for your Conan hero, and you also unlock the Calanthus, or Calanthes, whatever you want to say, as another hero. So that's what comes with the deluxe edition. A hero skin for Conan, an additional hero, an ebook, and a soundtrack. So it's up to you if that's worth the extra $10. Now, I do believe they're also selling a package deal where you buy 2 copies, and that's for this cooperative mode, which we'll get into here in a second, where you actually can play with a buddy or somebody else. So now you kind of know what the game is about, how much it costs. Let's get into some of the features of the game. So first thing that you will notice is this comic up here. One of the things that I like that comes with either the standard or the deluxe edition is this graphic novel, comic book, and the game is actually, Conan Unconquered is actually set based on the Conan Black Colossus comic book and short story, and so you actually can read along the comic as you're playing through the game, and as you do different things in the game, you can unlock the different chapters of the comic book. So it's pretty cool because you can kind of play a map and then read a chapter of the comic book, and then also the short story. So I thought this was pretty cool, and you don't have to have the deluxe edition to get this. The other thing that you'll notice is there's a feat progression, kind of like an achievement, I believe, is where each feat, it tells you how far you are on the feat and then how much you have for the total feats. So I only have 4% at this point. One of the things that we talked about is the heroes. So, unlike other RTSs, you control a hero. A hero has special abilities and base attacks, and the special abilities, say for Conan, is you activate it and it creates a whirlwind and generates damage to all enemies in an area. So not only are you controlling your units of different creatures, spearmen, sword guys, cavalry, etc., you also have a hero that you can control that's like a super buff version of the other guys. And a lot of this game is involved with exploring with your hero to go out and find stuff to help with your growth of your building area of your little city. Because to be quite honest, if you're not out exploring, it's actually detrimental because you want your hero to level up, and there's a lot of stuff that you want to find. So you have to find that happy medium of go out and explore, come back before a wave hits, that kind of thing. So that's another thing unique about Conan Unconquered, is that you control heroes along with your units and stuff. So we're talking about cooperative mode. So cooperative mode allows you to play with another person, either your friend, or you can actually just join a lobby and be partnered with a random person that you don't know. But what's cool is you can set up the game and then host or join somebody else's game and play. So in this particular case, if you both had the standard edition of the game, one would play Valeria, the other one would play Conan, and that you would control your heroes separately. You'd share some of your resources, but then some other things you actually would be doing separately. So there's a lot of videos on that. If you go to Funcom's YouTube channel, they'll show you a lot of the co-op play if you haven't had a chance to check that out yet. So that's something that's a little bit different with this game. The third thing, or I guess it's the third thing, is these challenges. Now this is something I found very interesting. So in this game, every map is procedurally generated when you click on it. So when you create a new game, that map is generated at that time. None of the maps are the same. So this particular map, I got to 12 waves and a score of 236,000 points. So what it does is it generates this challenge code. And so what I can do is say, you know, hey man, I bet you can't beat my 236 high score in 12 waves on this map. Let me send you a code. Since the map was procedurally generated for this particular round, no one else can regenerate this. So you actually send them an exact copy of the game you played and see if they can beat you. So I thought it was a pretty cool idea. I really like it. It's going to build, you know, competition with your friends, and then even if you're like a YouTuber or a streamer, you can tell your fan base and say, hey, who can beat my score? Put your link below, kind of thing. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So that's pretty much Conan Unconquered. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them below. If I didn't answer something, I'll do my best to try and answer it. And now let's go and look at some of the gameplay so you can get an idea of what that's like. Okay, people, let's talk about the gameplay a little bit here. So we're going to pick the first map. We're going to choose our hero. Since I have the deluxe edition, I can choose King Conan and Calanthus. You can see that it is set at the second difficulty from the easiest, and we're going to just click battle. And so we're going to go in with King Conan. Now, as I mentioned, this is currently creating the map as we speak. So it's a custom battle with a custom map. So it's generating everything right now, which is why I feel it takes a little bit longer to get the game started. It reminds me a lot of like Rust when you first played Rust. If anyone ever played that, it generated the map when you first logged onto the server, and so the first login took forever. So I feel like that's why this takes so long. I have an okay computer. I mean, it's not the worst, but it's not the best. So I'm just going to say that it's just generating the map, and that's why it takes so long. Now, it's kind of cool because I really don't play a lot of RTSs, and so I didn't have a lot of information, and so having some of these tips and reading some of this stuff was very helpful. So let's get into the game. So basically you start with your fortress, and that's pretty much it, and your hero, and now it's up to you to start figuring out what to do. I have the game suspended like in a lot of RTSs. You can hit pause and do kind of everything, and then when you hit spacebar and unsuspend, everything will just start happening. So I'm laying out some hovels right now. Hovels are pretty good because that's where you get a lot of your gold. But note in the bottom here on the right, you'll see all these resources. The top 4 resources do not replenish over time. You have to continue to build to have those resources replenish. And so you might find yourself not able to build because you don't have the resources you need, and you're not generating them from like lumber and iron and all that good stuff. So the first thing we're going to do is kind of take our hero here, and we want to go out and we want to try and explore a little bit. We want to keep making the hovels in order to get some gold, and then eventually we're going to put down some other resource gaining things like a quarry and all that. Now, I chose in this particular version to start trying to build walls early on in your base, but it's really up to you on when you want to start building walls. I tried to start walling in my guy right off the bat. Now, I will tell you that you need these things called battle standards. So once you build your wall, you can put this gate on, but the battle standard, which you'll see me place a little bit later, allows you to expand your footprint. So you can see the green, that's the only way, that's the only area that I can build on. If I were to put a battle standard down, the battle standard increases the area in which I can build on, which increases my lot of space. So they're also generate resources that are unique resources that you have to continue to place the battle standards in order to get those resources. So we have some walls building, we have some hovels cooking, and so one of the most important things about the game, from my understanding, is going out and exploring, which is what I want to start doing. I don't even have a training ground to start creating units to fight for me. So right now we're going to try and go out and level our hero up. You can see underneath my hero's character image, there's going to be an experience bar, and to the right there's a grayed out button there. That's going to be his ability he gets once he hits level 2. On the right hand side, you see that little skull ticking back and forth. That's the time that has allotted in the game. And then up at the top, you'll see a little wave ticker. So you can see that wave 1 of 25 is coming at me, and it's getting closer and closer. And you can also see it on the mini map in the bottom left hand corner. It's the pulsating red circle telling me that there's a wave on its way. So from what I've learned from watching some of these videos on this game through Funcom is having your hero go out, explore, kill things, etc. You want to do that while the wave is on its way, and then right before the wave gets back to your base, then you run back with your hero. So that's just a little tactic I feel is the right thing to do. Right or wrong, that's just what I've learned from watching this video and playing myself. So I'm killing off some scorpions here. You can see that if your guy dies, which I just did, your hero dies, then you have to wait 60 seconds for him to come back. So as a wave is coming at you, your hero can die, and it's a real detriment because your hero does a lot of damage, and to not have him during a fight is not a good thing. So I bit off a little more than I can chew with the scorpions. They poisoned me, and now I died. So you can see on my little character image, I have to wait to respawn. So we're going to do that. So I suspended time just because I wanted to start building some other things. So as I said, hovels, you can start building some lumber yards, and on the actual description it tells you what resources you gain from it, how much it costs to make it, etc. The game is not very self-explanatory. You know, I don't play a lot of RTSs, so I guess somebody who does would understand it a little bit better than me, but there's a lot to this game where I really didn't know what I was doing. I wish there was a tutorial in this game, because I feel like having a tutorial would help. Like you can see right in the top right hand corner above the gold, there's a little blinky thing. So that's kind of a tutorial. You can click on it and it can tell you, you know, the different tips and hints about the game, but having an actual tutorial you play through which tells you what to do would be really, really, really helpful. At least in my opinion, it would be. So we unpause time here. My guy still has some time going. You can see I put in that battle standard. That battle standard is what allows me to make some other items because it creates a specific resource I need. And it also increases my range. So here's the wave. The first wave is here. So we're going to go out with Conan. He finally respawned, and we're going to kill these guys. And so once we kill these guys, the wave will end, and then wave 2 will happen. So I just put down a training ground. You need a training ground in order to create units. Right out of the gate, you can create sword fighter units, and then you can also create spear thrower units, which you can see I'm going against right now. I also right there just laid down a little healing shrine, and so you can see Conan's taking some damage, and so once he clears this wave, any of your units, including Conan, can go stand, well, your hero, Conan in this particular instance, can go stand next to that healing shrine of Mitra, and actually heal yourself up. So that's really cool. One thing I will note when it comes to the combat, once you see the training ground, you'll notice when you hover over it, Basically, spear throwers are stronger against melees. Melees are stronger against horsemen, and horsemen are stronger against range. So you can see it right there on the window. Horsemen beat archers and range beat melee, and melee beat horses. So that's the kind of pyramid like a lot of games have, where, you know, there's obviously each different unit can beat a different other type of unit. So just keep that in mind when you're, you know, creating your creatures and the waves. So each wave you might want, oh, I need fighters for this because it's a lot of horsemen, so I need the melee swordsman. Oh no, I need range for this because it's a lot of melee guys, so I need ranged. You know, oh, I need horsemen because they have a lot of spear throwers, and I want to get up to them quick and run through their spear throwers. So something to keep into consideration is building your training ground and then choosing to create people based on what waves are coming. So now you can see I'm almost dead. I'm going to run back to this little heal shrine here, and once I get close enough to stand by it, I will start to heal up. You can see my health will start to go up because I'm standing next to it. So definitely something that I realized was a really important resource to have is that little healing thing there. Another thing about the game that I would say is a tip, or I guess a pearl, is you want to level up as fast as possible, because then that's how you can get your research. That's how you can start building stuff. So using my hero, I didn't do a very good job of exploring with him as much as I could have, but you can see he's kind of leveling up. If I would have redone this first level, I would have had him out exploring constantly. I would have got a training ground done right away and kind of had him out leveling up, because he's super important. And also I feel like I was placing way too many of the wrong resources. So you don't need a lot of lumber yards and quarries and farms right off the gate. You will probably want to put a lot of hovels down, because that's where your gold comes from. But, you know, building the armies I think is the most important. I also wasted a lot of gold and stuff on the walls. I think early on you don't need a lot of walls. You can handle the waves without the walls. But that's just from my experience in playing the game. So one other thing that I will mention is that there are these guard towers that you can put down. I will put some down. I don't know if I do it now, but you'll see them later on in this video, where you can put your army guys, your spear throwers, into the towers, and then they can fire over the wall. And by having a tower, you actually can, you don't take damage. The tower has to be destroyed, so they can continue to throw damage, and the units won't die. The tower is what will get destroyed. So pretty cool little thing. Just a little hint there is putting some towers around, and you can put up to 4 spear throwers into a tower, and then having them where they can rain down is pretty good. Not this tower that you saw me build. That's a lookout tower. That just increases the fog of war and what you can see, but I've created the wrong tower. Now, I can tell you that if you create something and you don't like it, you can always destroy it. So if you look at the mini-map, on the bottom right of the mini-map, there's that little red button there. That allows you to destroy stuff that you don't want to build anymore. So here we go. We are fast forwarded ahead. We are, I believe, 12 waves in, and you can see this is the wave that kills me. I got wiped out pretty good. I didn't plan well, and I lost a lot of my units going out and trying to fight some of the boss creatures. And so this is the wave that kills me. Now, one thing you will see is on the right-hand side there with all the blue shields above them, that is an enemy hero. So the enemy has heroes just like we have heroes. So there is a set enemy hero, and everyone around him gets buffed because of him. So technically, you're supposed to be taking your hero over to kill him and make sure that he's taken out so that all of the units around him do not get buffed. But at this point, I'm pretty much screwed. I have no units. I think I have like 3 spear guys and just my hero. I'm 12 waves in. I'm getting hit from all sides, and it's going downhill quick. Some things you might notice is that my hovels look a little bit different now. You can upgrade them later on once you unlock a construction. I believe it's a construction research. That construction bench or whatever you want to call it allows you to upgrade some of your buildings. So there's a lot of moving parts in this game. There's a lot to do. I feel like, in my opinion, if I were to buy this game, if you like RTSs and tower defenses, this is a good game. To me, it was kind of slow. I didn't really enjoy. I felt like the waves took a long time. 25 waves seems like a lot. But at the end of the day, for $29.99, if you're an RTS fan, this is a lot of fun. So I hope you guys liked this video. I hope the gameplay was something that you liked, and just leave your comments below and let me know what you think. I answer all comments. So this is Van from the Vaniverse Gaming channel. Cheers and peace out.